garden friends, good morning. So welcome to my first garden tour. So we're gonna go ahead and start here at the front of the house, and I just want to tell you guys a little bit about this property. So we've only been here for about a year. So all of these garden beds were established last spring, and then this is our second year in this garden. So I'm really super happy with it. Pretty much the first section of our house, or the front section of our house, is the best, and then it gets a little bit more immature as we go around because all of the other garden beds I established this year. So just keep that in mind as we go on our garden tour, that this is still a very immature garden and I'm still working on it. It's always a work in progress. I guess everybody would say that about their gardens, but yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna go ahead and start over here at the right garden bed, and on this side of the house actually is where we get the most shade. Our house pretty much has almost full sun in every single garden bed, especially as we get into the high heat of summer. But thankfully I have been able to plant this incredible, and he has done fairly well here. I planted him last year and he didn't bloom at all, which I was so sad about. But this year he has really made up for it because, as you can see, oh my goodness, they're so big. I am like so super happy with this. I cannot imagine what he's gonna look like next year, the upcoming year. I'm super happy. Some of the blooms are a little bit spent. I probably need to go ahead and cut them off. But the great thing about this guy is that he will continue blooming throughout the summer, and he blooms on new wood. So if I cut off any lace caps or anything like that, it's not going to be that big of a deal because he's just going to pump out more blooms. So I'm super happy with him. Over here I do have tucked in a little Grosso lavender. He was actually in a different spot and I transplanted him here this year, and he still did super well. So I'm pretty excited about that. He's pumped out a lot of new blooms. All in the front of my front garden beds, I have just some petunias here. These are not super petunias or anything like that. They're just regular. I got them from Lowe's, actually on clearance, and I do have a video about that. But they are starting to fill in really nicely, and I've been super happy with how they've done. I found that even the regular petunias have done well, but at some point I'm sure that I'll try super petunias. I haven't actually tried them yet. But then I do also have a little bit of some snapdragons over here, and they are pumping out some new buds. And I'm assuming that's just because they are partially shaded through. This particular bed actually gets shade in the afternoon at about 3. So it kind of gets shaded from that 4 and 5 o'clock sun, which is really tough on plants. So I think that they're actually pumping out new blooms and going to continue blooming because of that, which I'm super happy about. I also have some coral impatiens over here that I planted, and they're doing fairly well. They are a little sun stressed. And I think I realized that after I planted them, they don't get full shade. They still definitely get some hot sun. So I think that's why they're kind of a little bit scorched. But otherwise, they're doing pretty well, and I'm definitely happy with the pop of color. Back here, I have a Japanese pieris, which I actually got from a friend's house, which she was getting rid of these. So I rescued them. These, and then also this little azalea bush. They look a little, I guess, lopsided, but I decided not to prune anything this year just to let them kind of establish their root systems. And next year I'll definitely go ahead and prune. So, but they're doing really well, especially considering that I drove like 4 hours to get them. So I'm really happy with that. Over here, let's see, back here I have these two Valentine bleeding hearts, and these guys are doing the best. I have some more over here in this other bed that gets a little more sun, and they're not doing as well. But they're super happy because they do get shaded, and I'm pretty excited. They haven't bloomed yet. I just planted these this year, so hopefully next year I'll get some blooms out of them. Back here I just have some regular purple irises, and then up here I do have more lavender grosso, and you'll see this throughout my front garden beds. I got these and they were literally in like a little teeny tiny container, and this year they've come back and they're massive, and I'm just so proud of them for coming back so strong. The pollinators love these guys, and I've noticed too, I used to have the aphid problem really bad in these beds, and I haven't seen a single aphid. Well, I take that back. I saw a couple earlier this year, but I haven't seen any since then, and I really think that it's because of the lavender. Let me know if I'm wrong, but for whatever reason, I haven't seen aphids this year. Over here, just tucked in the little corner, I have a Nandina Firepower. I transplanted these. These were originally where the Pieris was, and I transplanted them here because I thought that they would make more sense. They're a little bit smaller than I guess I was thinking. I don't know. When you first start gardening, you don't really know what you're doing, so don't be afraid to move stuff. It's definitely come back really well, and I'm super happy. I think they seem a lot happier right here. All right, and up here is my little container, my summer planting that I did a video on a couple weeks back, and it looks so good. The lobelia is actually pumping out new blooms right now. The creeping Jenny has done super well. The impatiens are pretty happy. It looks like I have a couple spiders coming back here. And then of course I have my geranium here in the back. But overall, I'm really super happy with how this guy is doing. Oh my goodness, I'm in love with the euphorbia. In love. I need to plant some more of that. Okay. And then over here we have our left side garden bed. And this one's a little bit more full. That side I'm still kind of working on, but as you can see, and you saw in the other bed too, my boxwoods look terrible. I trimmed them back hard. I'll actually insert a picture of what they looked like when we moved in. They were super overgrown, and they were like, I'm not even kidding, probably as tall as this. I mean, they were huge, and I just kind of got a little trigger happy or snip happy, whatever you want to say, and cut them back super, super hard. They've been recovering, but honestly, I'm thinking about ripping them out this year or next. So we'll see. I think I'll let them sit for this year, and maybe next year I'll rip them out because I just don't know if they'll recover and get these holes covered up. But that's okay. You live and you learn. And then over here, you'll see kind of some of the same things that I had in the other bed. I've got my petunias here in the front. Lavender is just in its full glory right now. I have a couple of irises tucked away over there, and this guy is what's so funny. So I had coneflowers originally planted actually in the other bed too, and this is the only one that has done well. I took all the other ones and transplanted them into my wildflower garden, but this one has just done so well I didn't have the heart to move him. So he's kind of one of my pride and joys. I'm super happy about him. They're all underplanted with some impatiens, some coral impatiens, which I think just, I don't know, the purple and the coral. Oh, I'm just so happy about that. Back here, and actually if you come into the garden bed, you can see I have a little teeny tiny coleus planted back here because it's like the one shady spot. You can see that. I got him on clearance and I didn't know where to put him, so I just shoved him back there. I thought that we would be able to see him over the coneflower, but I realized that is not the case. But anyway, I don't know. I kind of like when stuff like that is hidden and you just... only I know it's there. So over here, I am kind of like coming in. Oh, I've already got a weed right here. I've got a little geranium that I need to pot up. Actually, I have two of these that I still need to put into a pot. But I got these to actually protect my roses from Japanese beetles because I heard that geraniums can help with that. But it turns out that they don't help all that much because I am still at war with these Japanese beetles. They're honestly my nemesis. I hate them so much. So I'll go ahead and show you guys what my beautiful David Austin rose is looking like. Poor guy, he has been through it a little bit. As you can see, he's been eaten up by Japanese beetles. I'm also dealing with a rose sawfly issue. But I've been coming out here pretty much every other day and spraying him with neem, and then just trying to pick off the Japanese beetles by hand. But this is what they're supposed to look like. And this one is one bloom that has survived and just looks gorgeous. I'm so happy about that. Actually, I don't see any beetles on it today, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't see any. So I'm super happy about that. This is all my underplantings. So I've got a couple calibrachoas here. Oh, I got a weed coming up through there too. Gosh. And then actually I have one right here that I'm hoping will fill in July, but he was the worst one. All of these were on clearance and he was the worst one. He was so small, but as you can see, the other ones rebounded super well. And then of course my petunias are starting to fill in. So I'm pretty happy with this little purple, just little purple spot. So as we're moving this way, this is my wildflower garden. 90% of this was direct seeded, and I have pulled out a ton of it because of course I planted a couple of things, and you guys will have seen that at this point when I planted up my wildflower garden. So this is my wildflower garden, and like I said, I direct seeded all of this stuff, or most of it. So this was kind of a mix. You can see that I have some cosmos in here, some bachelor's buttons, some poppies are coming up, which actually these guys look great right now. And then I actually planted way back when some gladiolus, and they actually got all covered up. I'm gonna have to come back here and cut all of mine off, but here's another one. Another purple one back here. This is that Easter mix that I had, and they look so pretty back here. But because they haven't gotten enough light, they've kind of come up a little bit wonky and all that stuff. But once again, I didn't realize how tall the cosmos were going to get. I'm just learning, so, you know, it's all an experiment. But I have a little bit of dianthus here at the bottom. So here, under here, I literally just planted this yesterday, and I actually have a video of me planting all of this up, so I'll go ahead and card that here. But I have a little yellow dahlia, and I'm blanking on the name, but I'm pretty sure it's like, oh, hypnotic yellow dahlia, I think. Something like that, but I'll go ahead and put it up on the screen. But I got him on clearance, and I'm pretty excited about him coming up. And then I have a little bit of echinacea here. This one is a white one, I believe. I've got some blue mirror delphiniums. This is all proven winners. Buttercream Amazing Daisies. I keep saying buttercream. I cannot get this name right. It's Banana Cream Amazing Daisies. I keep saying buttercream. And then, yeah, so I have that. And then if you come over here, here's another one. Some dianthus all here at the front. Two Gara flanking this little echinacea right here who's doing really well. So yeah, so all of those just got planted yesterday, so I'm excited to see what it's going to look like in July. But I think I will probably grab some ground cover or something and just plant it in. I don't know, just to kind of fill it in a little bit, because I had to pull out a lot of like bachelor's buttons to plant all this stuff, obviously. So I don't know, we'll see what I end up doing, or what I can find on clearance, right? So we'll go ahead and we'll come over here. Over here I have a little pot with just some leftover petunias. They don't look so great right now. And actually I'm going to shear back my petunias here in just a little bit so that they don't get too leggy. But I just stuck him in there because I didn't have anywhere else to put them. I mean, I'm sure I could pop them in the ground somewhere, but either way, my hose is out, so forgive me for that. But over here is my new garden bed I just did a couple of weeks ago. I've got this sky pencil holly that I got from my friend's house that I actually planted up her garden, and she didn't want this, so I went ahead and took him. So he's leaning a little bit, but I will go ahead and I will cut him next year. I try to let all of my shrubs sit for the first year. I don't know if that's super necessary, but I feel like just let him put all of his energy into his root system, so I didn't trim him. And then I have quite a few salvia planted in this bed. So I have one here, and then it goes down. I've got some beard's tongue, some dragon's tongue, beard's tongue. I believe it's something beard's tongue over here. This is a little perennial, and he has these little cute purple flowers. He's gone out of bloom now, but he will hopefully flush back with some more. I've got some rudbeckia here. I've got my red twig dogwood, and then this guy, oh my gosh, he looks so bad. He's not going to make it, you guys. But this was one of my little bang coropsis that I have, and this was the smallest, most pathetic looking one I got on clearance. And yeah, I don't know if he's going to make it, but that's okay. It's so rare that I lose a plant on clearance. I'm all right with it, so I'll pop something else in there. But I have some salvia here. I've got some zinnia here that are just in their full glory right now. I'm so happy with how these are doing. I just think this whole combination makes me think of fall, which makes me really happy. And I think these are all long-term bloomers, so I'm pretty sure they'll all be blooming into August and September, maybe even October. I've got a little white echinacea here in the back, coneflower, some more coropsis, rudbeckia, zinnias, and then I've got some verbena here at the bottom. And these just went out of bloom, so I'm going to cut these back, and then hopefully they'll flush back with some more. I've got my oh, sparkler dazzleberry. I think that's what it's called. Sedum here. And I'll go ahead and throw the name up on the screen. But I've got them here, and they're doing really, really well. They look a little wonky, but next year they'll look perfect. I've got a little geranium tucked in over here. That's the, oh, this is all of my geranium. It's the same type. It's all Survivor Coral Geranium. So pretty. So pretty. And then all of this, let's see, I've got my, I still need to pot him up. Oh, there's never enough time. But I've got my pink chiffon Rose of Sharon over here that I'm going to put into a pot. I've got a little bit of, oh my goodness, what is this guy called? I pronounced him wrong when I was talking about him in my last haul. But this was from my first clearance haul. I cannot remember what this guy is named, but he's really cute. He's got this beautiful little periwinkle blooms with a little white center. Can you guys see that? How pretty is that? Just so cute. I love it. They all need to be trimmed back, but they're doing really well. Over here is my DIY little trellis thing. My teepee trellis. I've got it underplanted with some squash that I got from one of my really nice neighbors who came over and gave me some squash for free. So I'm hoping that they'll trail up and we can get some squash this year. So we'll see how that goes. Some more salvia. As you can tell, I like salvia quite a bit. I've got some cucumbers vining on this guy. We've got some purple basil here that's actually in bloom. How pretty is that? And I know that you're not supposed to let basil bloom, I'm aware, but I have more basil in my other garden and that I use for cooking. So I just decided to let him go because he looked so pretty. Anyway, and then I've got my cucumbers here that are vining. Let's see how, oh, here's one. Here's a good one. There's one of my little ones. He's coming through. I just harvested my first cucumber, but there are so many here. There's one there. There's so many all over this thing. We're gonna be trying to figure out how to eat all of this stuff, so I'm super excited about that. He looks so much better than when I put him up on the trellis. He looks so happy. I'm really excited about that. Don't look at this. This is all a mess. So this is the last garden bed I have to show you guys. Like I said, I have a really small garden, but it's small, but I love it. And then I'm also going to go ahead and try to establish some more garden beds going into the season, but we'll see how that goes. But this is the last one I have to show you guys today. I have some Roma tomatoes planted here in the back. It all looks a little crazy. I kind of really packed stuff in here, but they're doing fairly well, so I think it's going okay. This is kind of like I would say only my second or third time growing vegetables, because I only did it when I was a kid and I was a teenager, so I didn't really care that much. My mom cared more than I did. So we'll see how all this goes. But everything seems good. I mean, it's putting out some really good fruit. These are determinate tomatoes, so I'm not going to prune them any, but as you can see, we've got some really big guys down here, which I'm super happy with. But I got a smaller variety of tomato because my husband, who is behind the camera, doesn't like tomatoes. So this is all for me. All for me, and hopefully our daughter, if I can get her to like them, but I don't know if that's going to happen. She doesn't like them right now. And then I've also got a couple of peppers, which I'm so salty about because I lost the tag to these and I have no idea what type of pepper they are. But I've got a lot of them growing, so I'm really happy about that. So I apologize. I have no idea what happened to the tag. I save all of my tags for everything, but I have no idea. So I've got 4 of those, 4 of the tomato plants. And then I did plant a couple basil plants under all of this stuff because one of my friends actually told me that basil supposedly helps pests stay off of tomatoes, and I haven't struggled with any pests, so maybe that's true. But I planted some sweet basil underneath here. So I've got a couple plants. This is my first one. Can you see that? Right here. So anyway, this is the guy that I've been picking off of to be able to do some stuff with. If you guys have any basil recipes, any good recipes, please let me know because I need to figure out what to do now. I've planted all this stuff and I'm trying to figure out how to use it because I'm no cook. Let me just say that. And then over here, the last thing that I have is I have some strawberries. They're doing really well. Actually, I need to harvest some of these. I need to net them so the birds don't get to them, but I haven't quite gotten to that yet. I've got one there. Actually, I've got quite a few that are, sorry, my hand's in the way, that are ripened. So they're good. I got these from a local garden center, and they're supposed to be like ever blooming, so they keep going throughout the summer, which I'm super excited about. Because I feel like berries are like the most expensive thing you can get at the supermarket. Oh my gosh, there's so many weeds in here, so you'll have to forgive me. I need to come out here and pull some stuff. But I'll get to mulching here soon. There's always something to do. Alright guys, so that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed planting all of this stuff, so I hope that you guys liked it. But if you did please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out and helps me to grow and just expand our garden friend community. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! I can't talk. I'm always so bad at finishing it. I never know how to say that without sounding like a dork. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in our next video. Bye!